is Jo. This is Yoga Advent Calendar, day 19. For today's flow, you won't need any props, but you can always use them if you wish. Today's flow is going to be a very nice flexibility flow. I'll meet you in a kneeling position when you're ready. Sit in the kneeling pose in the middle of your mat, and from here we're gonna go into child pose. Extended child pose. Forehead on the floor, on the mat. We're just gonna ground ourselves before we begin this flow. From here, we're gonna pull our arms slightly towards the body. Push ourselves off the mat and come into cow pose. Breathe in, and on the exhale, cat, and push your hips, come back into child pose, and breathe into cow again. Breathe out, cat, and push yourself down to child. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And come back to child. And inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to child. And last one, inhale. Exhale. And child pose. From here, come to center to tabletop pose, and we're gonna start with the right hand. On the inhale, we're going to open our chest, arm up. Try to keep your hips parallel to the floor, and exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale, come back. Inhale, open, exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, left arm up, exhale, come back. Inhale, open, exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, open left, and exhale, come back. Come back to center. And we're just going to do this on the other side. So inhale, exhale underneath. Inhale on the right side. Exhale back to center. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open right arm. Exhale, come back. And one more on this side. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale, come back to center. From here, we're gonna tuck our toes and go into down dog. We're gonna march on the spot in our down dog, switching between left and right. Bend your knee, stay on your toes, and then switch the legs. Push your tailbone up and back. Look in the middle of the mat. And just gently push your hips up and back. Now from here, we're just gonna stand at the edges of the mat and starting with the right hand, we're gonna grab the left ankle and pull ourselves underneath and release. Inhale, exhale, inhale, look underneath your arm and come back to center. And again, same side, and come back to center. And once more. Come back to center. And one last time. And come back to center. Now we're just gonna switch. We're gonna go same on the other side. Come back to center, push your hips back. And again. And push your hips back. Inhale, and on the exhale, stretch, and inhale, and on the exhale. Okay, come back to a regular down dog position. And we're gonna start with our right leg. We're gonna lift, I'm gonna move. We're gonna lift our right leg up, three-legged dog, and then bend the knee, point the toes, and stretch on your right. Now come back. Knee to chest, touch your tricep, shift your weight forward, and come back, and open.
fingers gripping the mat. And come back. And open. And come back, tricep, and slowly open. Come back, shift your weight, and open. Now step back and walk slowly to the front of the mat. Now place your feet on the edges of the mat and come to Malasana. Place your left hand on the outside of your, at front and outside of your left foot, and open your right arm to the sky. Open your chest. And come back the same way to down dog. Now lift your left leg, bend your knee, open, grip the mat with your fingertips and shift your weight on the toes of your right leg. Touch your tricep and come back into three-legged dog. And again, on the tippy toes of your right leg, and open, come back, and open, and one more, come back to the front, and open. Now step back and slowly walk to the front. Place your feet on the outside of the mat and come to Malasana. Now place your right hand at front of the right leg and open left side. Breathe. Come back. Put your hands back on the mat. Send your hips up and walk to down dog. From here, place your knees down. Send your hips back. Nose on the mat. Push your weight forward. Come into Cobra Pose. And either tuck your toes or push your hips off the tops of your feet into down dog. Look to the front of the mat. Step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Hands on chest. Inhale all the way up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank pose, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. From here, lift your right leg up, knee to chest, step between your hands. Come to high lunge or crescent lunge. Back leg straight. And front leg knee above your ankle. From here, we're just gonna do a couple of crescent squats. We're gonna take our hands behind our head and go down, back leg straight. Feel the stretch on the front of your left thigh and up into a straight leg, modified pyramid, and down, up, and 3. Close your ribs, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to place our hands on the mat. You can be on your hands or on your fingertips. You can also use blocks here to support yourself. And from here, we're just going to straighten the front leg as much as we can for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back, and we're gonna take our hands to the left side, sort of diagonal. We're just gonna go as far as we can. Keep the knees where they are. Twist and stretch the side body. From here, we're going to push ourselves back and now pivot on the toes and come to Skandasana. Place right arm, hand on the mat and open a left arm. Now sit down and bring your heel down, bring your knee down, and we're gonna go into head to toes, side stretch. So left hand on the mat, along the left leg, right hand is drawing a rainbow above our head. You can stay there, it doesn't matter, as long as you can feel stretch in the side of your body. Breathe into the stretch. Look underneath your arm and come back with your right hand to the mat. Both hands on the mat. We're just going to push ourselves into Pigeon Pose. You can also use your blocks now to support yourself. Inhale, passive Pigeon Pose, passive stretch. Now, hands on the mat,
Tuck your back toes.
Push your hips up. Send the right leg up. Plank pose. Chaturanga.
Up dog.
Down dog. Left leg up. Knee to chest. Stand between your hands.
Come to Crescent Lunge. Back leg straight, strong. Hands behind your head. Inhale. On the exhale, go down and all the way up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back down, hands on the floor, move to the right, reach diagonal and forward. Breathe into this stretch. And now turn into Skandasana pose. Place your left arm on the mat and open your right side. And sit down. Place your left leg on the floor, left knee on the floor, and right hand next to the right leg, and left hand is drawing a rainbow above your head, only as far as you can. Feeling the stretch on your left, looking underneath your arm. And come back with your left hand on the mat, right hand on the mat. We're just gonna push ourselves into Pigeon Pose. Use your blocks if you want to. You can use your blocks underneath your hands. From here, put your hands flat on the mat, tuck your back toes, lift your knee, send that leg up and back, place on the mat, come to plank, chaturanga, and up dog, and down dog. Look to the front of the mat, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Hands on chest. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Down dog. Up dog. And down dog. Place your knees down. Cross your shins behind you. Send your hips to the back of the mat. Sit in Konasana or butterfly pose. So join the soles of your feet together. From here, we're gonna go into a deer pose. We're gonna start with the right leg. So we're gonna leave the left leg at front, and we're gonna support ourselves with the left hand, and then send the right leg behind us. So the idea of this pose is that we should have 90 degrees angle here and 90 degrees angle in this leg. I don't think this is doable for people who live in not very flexible bodies like mine. So as long as your knees are comfortable and not hurting, so you can bring this foot closer, you can push this foot farther away. The same here. As long as you're comfortable, you can use your block to support yourself, or you can just stay on your fingertips. Try to square your shoulders to the front of the mat and just breathe into the pose. From here, we're just gonna push ourselves to the front and straighten that back leg. So we are in pigeon pose. We're gonna tuck our back toes and try to lift the right knee off the mat. This is active stretch. We can also lift our hands. To make it more of an active stretch, but you can support yourself with your fingertips or blocks on the floor. Okay, from here we're gonna bring that leg back and put the right knee on top of the left knee into shoelaces pose. Straight back. Just breathe. From here, we're just gonna go into a little switch. So we go into the left. So the feet stay where they are. They just turn, turn, turn. You should now end up with your left knee on top of your right knee. From here, we're gonna take our left leg to the back of the mat, tuck the toes, and come into active pigeon pose. Try to lift your left knee off the mat. You can try to lift your hands. And put your hands back on the mat. Now from here, we're just gonna bend that knee and come into our deer pose. So now, trying to get this 90 degrees. If we can, I can't. Trying to square shoulders to the front of the mat. You will feel nice stretch at the front of your hip. And on the next exhale, come back to butterfly pose. Grab your toes with your hands. Inhale, send your chest forward. Exhale.
Send your belly button back to the spine. Tip your pelvis backwards.
And inhale. Now from here, I'm going to turn. We're going to open our legs into straddle. Inhale, hands up, and exhale, right hand on the left foot or shin, and open the left arm behind you. So you can grab your foot, or you can grab your shin, and come back to center. Same on the other side. And inhale. Now we're going to do head to toe. So left hand next to left leg, and the right hand is drawing the rainbow behind your head. And come back, switch sides.
Turn your body outwards so you're facing the sun. Feel the stretch on the side of your body.
And come back to center. Inhale, send your chest forward, toes facing the sky. And exhale.
The other side, point your toes.
Bring your knees up, your feet closer. And we're gonna turn our wipers on. So we're gonna go to the left with our knees and to the right. To the left and to the right. And last one, come back to center. Now I'm gonna come back this way, and we're gonna lay on the back. Bring the right knee up, bring the left knee. Put your right ankle on your left knee, and now try to grab your left leg behind your thigh or maybe on your shin and pull towards your body. Figure 4, reclined figure 4. And release. Switch sides, same on the other side. So either the back of your thigh or shin and pull. Try to keep your lower back on the floor. And release. Now, right leg on the mat. Grab your left foot or left big toe. Try to open. See how much you can open this leg. Opening your hamstrings. For active stretch, pull your toes towards your face with your own muscles, or they own your own muscles, with the muscles of your leg, so without actually pulling with your hand. And release. Grab your big toe. Just let your leg rest on your hand. And release. Left leg on the mat. Right leg. Grab your big toe. See how much you can open. Don't pull beyond just the stretch sensation. We don't want to feel any pain, just a nice stretch. Again, active stretch. Using your leg muscle, pulling your toes towards your face, and then release by resting it on your, resting it in your hand. And slowly release. Now from here, I'm gonna move so I don't kick my tree. We're gonna go into Plow Pose. So we're gonna start with the waterfall pose. So legs up. You should have about 90 degrees angle. And from here, we're gonna try to use the core muscles. So we're gonna try to bring the hip bones closer to the lower rib bones by creating like a compression. So we're going to compress the muscles. We're just going to bring it up and above our head and join our fingers behind the back. Breathe. When you're ready, slowly come back, release the hands, come back. Bend your knees, place your feet down and push your hips up into bridge pose. Interlace your fingers underneath, curl your upper arms underneath, chin to chest, bridge pose. Don't let the knees go sideways. Imagine that you're squeezing
something between your knees. And release. Now straighten your legs. Now I need to move again. And from here, we're gonna open chest, slide our hands underneath our hips, and try to open into fish pose by placing the crown of the head on the mat behind. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, so don't pull away, don't shorten your neck, long neck. Look behind. And when you're ready, slowly release. Come into Shavasana. Breathe, close your eyes. Thank yourself for today's practice. Hopefully you feel relaxed and stretched. When you're ready, come back to seated.
Thank you for today's practice. Namaste.